Hi there. Today I want to talk about something I noticed on Twitter. It's from Nick Diego. It's regarding the new Interactivity API, which is coming to WordPress 6.5. And Nick is showing us a proof of concept of how we made a mega menu using the Interactivity API. And I think this is a quite awesome example of a use case for the Interactivity API. Let's quickly go through it. It's 1 minute 20 seconds. So he has this menu. And one of the menu items, projects, has a mega menu in it. So when you click on projects, the mega menu opens. And as you can see, you can edit it and you can choose a template to put into the menu. It's pretty cool. I will show you a live example. All right, so here I am. I have created a clean WordPress install. I have installed, let me quickly see. I have installed the WordPress beta tester plugin because I need version 6.5. And I can only install it up to 6.4.3. The Interactivity API is only included in 6.5. And then we have an exploratory mega menu block by Nick Diego. The plugin is open source. I will link it in the description. All credits go to Nick. I'm just showcasing what he found and talking about it because I think it's quite nice. All right. So in here I have my website and I have a home, I have a cool page, and I have a privacy policy. When I click on cool page, a mega menu element opens. I've just put in a quote and a nice tiger picture, or a lion. But you can do more than that because this is a template part, which is pretty nice. I will show you how it works. So in my editor, I have this menu over here. As you can see, there's a home, which is a menu item, and then mega menu is a new block type, which Nick has created, which we are gonna try to recreate and reason about. So when we click on the block type, we can set a label, so the lion page, for example, and we can choose a template. This is the nice part with the Interactivity API. You can choose whichever template you want to show. We can add a description, we can add a title, and there's some there's some settings for mobile, and also how we justify the menu. So depending on how you set this, the menu will be either aligned to the left, aligned to the center, aligned to the start, or the width will be with the content, full width, or boxed in the height. Pretty nice. And if we see over here, create and modify menu templates, I have in the patterns, we have created a new template part called menu, and everything we create in here, we can, let me quickly see how I can create a new one. I don't see it. I'm not sure how I can create a new pattern. Create pattern. I think it's create template part. Yes. So we can say another mega menu. We choose the menu. This is not standard. This is something the plugin creates. And then we can say we want the group and we want all of columns. And then in here I want the image menu library. And then in here we want the a paragraph. Lions. Oh, cool. Save. And now if we go into our menu, let's reload. Let's edit our menu. Let's edit our mega menu. And now we have two templates part. The menu, which is the first one I created, and then the one we created together. If I save, and if I go to my website, we have lions are cool and the lion, but I haven't set a background for the group. So in my navigator, I should go to the row. I should set a background color of white, maybe some padding, but I'm not going to do that now. And if I save that, I always forget to click save twice. We have our mega menu. Of course, there's a lot of editing to do, but I think this is so nice. And what I want to do is I want to rewrite the code Nick wrote, but I am dumbing it down. He did some things for accessibility. I'm leaving that out. Yeah, you can check the code in the description if you want, but I just think it's awesome, and let's talk about it. Alrighty, so I have created a new WordPress project. It's a clean install. It's version 6.5 via the WordPress beta tester plugin, and I'm gonna create a new block. So in my plugins folder, I will open an integrated terminal and I'm gonna paste a command here. So the command will be npx WordPress create block latest mega menu block. This is the name of my block. I'm gonna template, and I'm gonna use the create block interactive template. This will scaffold everything for the Interactivity API. This will take a while. I will get back to you once this is done. So the script has run and our block has been created. So in our plugins folder, you now see a new block. In the blocks.json, you can see we have some scaffolding, and we'll need to do some things here. First of all, I'm gonna keep this as it is, but we need to add some supports. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a parent. This is because our block will be a child of the core navigation block. And then we'll need, oh, I don't need that here, and we'll need some attributes. First thing is we'll need a label. I hope that worked. Okay, label, and this will be of type. Oh, I'm screwing this up so bad. JSON is not. Okay, one moment. Okay, why am I making so much mistakes? Missing property type. Oh. Oh, probably like this. Okay, nice. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna copy this, and we need some more. So we'll also need a description. We'll also need a menu slug. This will be the template part we're gonna put in. We'll also need a justified menu, and we'll need a width. I think I'm gonna keep it like this for now. And then we need some extra supports. I'm just gonna paste this in from Nick like this. So HTML is false, no HTML in the HTML in the element. We need the interactivity API, no renaming, no reusable, and we need some typography. Includes our text domain will be mega menu block. Then this is all the linked files which will be used. But we need one more thing, and I think that is the view style. One moment, the comma here. So view style is file index.css, but we still need to create that, I think. All right, this is our block.json. The first thing I want to do after I've created block.json is I want to go into my mega menu block, which is the plugin code. And in here, I want to register the menu template part location. So I'll do function mega menu template part areas. This will accept an array of areas. All right, and then we'll push a new area into the array. The area will be menu. The area tag will be a div. The description will be something I copy because I don't want to write it. Menu templates are used to create sections for mega menus. The icon will be layout, and the label will also gonna copy. All we have to do now is return the areas into the filter, and we also have to hook this function into a filter. So we'll do add filter, and this one is default WP template part areas. I will add our function like this. Normally when I save, I will have the option in my to activate my plugin, and in the editor we should now see in the patterns down. It doesn't work yet. All right, so it seems I made a typo. It's template part, and once we save this and we refresh, I am able to create a template part. We call this mega menu, and now I can select menu, and let's quickly create our group again. I'm just gonna do something simpler. Just gonna add an image. I'm just gonna add some text. Paragraph. This is a mega menu, and of course the group needs some styling. I still have to learn how to work with this. So settings, yep. Container needs background white, and let's do some padding. Voila. Save. Of course we can't do anything now, but now we have our, if we go back to the site editor, we have our mega menu element. So if we refresh, we go back to the template parts. Now we see menu over here with one, which is our mega menu. Nice. All right, so if you haven't worked with WordPress blocks before, so the way the WordPress block works is first you register it in the main plugin file. Then we have a View.js. This is the code that will be rendered in the front end. We have an Edit.js. This is the code which will render the backend functionality. So when you are editing a block. And we have index.js. This is the file which scaffolds your block internals and which is read by the bundler to see what is happening. And we have a render.php file which renders the block from the server to the front end. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create the edit.js. So everything that's used in the back. First things first, I'm gonna do some imports. I'm copy pasting them because it's a lot of typing. I will just reason about them. So the first thing is we do __. This is for translation, but we'll also need printf. And then we're gonna need some other things. So I'm gonna delete some comments just for clarification. So we'll need the InspectorControls. This is a React element. It looks like a React element. I think it is the React element where we can add all our controls with table bodies and combo boxes, etc. We are using some block props, rich text. Use entity records is to fetch data from over the API, over the REST API. Use select, I think it's also the same. but it's for getting site URLs, etc. You can do a lot of things. The create interpolate element, I will show you in an instant how we are using that. Then we'll use some components to create all the functionality inside, and then I am importing some icons from WordPress icons, but I don't have that yet. So npm install WordPress icons. I still had to go one level deeper. I was in plugins, but I had to go in the mega menu block, so I have to use npm install. Alright, so now you can see that the WordPress icons are installed. We can use them like stretch wide, and this is just returning an SVG. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the scaffolding, and we'll get our attributes from our block. So const, we do some destructuring, label, menu slug, justify menu, and the width, and we're getting those from attributes, voila, like this. These are the attributes we defined over here. Alright, so the first thing we need is the site URL. So const site URL is use select. This is the use select. This is will get select, and then we'll do select core get site.url. This will just return the site URL, and then we'll do const menu template URL is, if we have a site URL, then we'll do site URL plus and then a string. So this will do site URL and then return the site URL. I'll show you in an instant what that does. One thing I forgot to say is when creating blocks, you can run npm start, and this is gonna create a watcher which watches for changes in all these files and always creates a new build folder. This is so if you refresh your page, you're always working on the latest version of your block. Right, so if we have run that, we can do some console.logs here. So console.log menu template URL, and if we now refresh over here in our editor, I am editing the menu. You can see over here, this is the menu. I can add my block, so my mega menu block, and you can see that it's trying to console the log, but it's empty. I'm gonna save, refresh, it's still empty. All right, I seem to have made another mistake. So get site is a function, and then we get the URL from there. And if you refresh, you can see that site URL is mega menu local, and then this is my place where if I click on it, all my templates are which I created. So that's why we are making the slug. Okay, I'm gonna remove those console logs. The next thing we need to do is get the correct all the templates part. So we'll do const another as resolved structure, and we get the records from use entity records, and this will get the post type. Post type will be WP template part, and we'll add some extra args, and this will be per page will be -1, so we'll get all records back. If we console.log the records, we can see over here that we get an array of 5 mega menu footer header post, and these are all the template parts available in our code. And then we'll need to configure some menu options. So do let menu options, an empty array. We make it let because we're gonna override the array. So if has resolved. So if this use entity records is done and has resolved, then we'll do menu options is records.filter, and then if item is item.area is menu. So we have configured that over here in let me think. In here we set that the area is menu, the other areas have another identifier. If that is the case, then we'll map that item and we'll get, oh, that's the wrong braces, so this, and we'll do label is item.render, and the value is item.slug. See if my code is correct. And then we'll do const has menus. Let's see if we have any menus. Is menu options dot length bigger than 0. Then we'll do console.log menu options. Let's see what that gives. So in here we have 1, and that's our mega menu. So our mega menu is one of the options. Now I'm gonna paste some things in, and I'm gonna just explain them. So let me quickly do this. First of all, the block props. This is just a class name, wplay navigation item, wplay mega menu toggle. This is just a class name, and then some justification options which we are gonna render via a loop in an element, and some width options which we're also gonna render in a loop. And then we'll have to create our return like this, a wrapper, so we can inject our inspector controls like this. And we're also gonna need which expands the block props. So div, that's not a div, that's an idif. It's another idif. It's the point block props. All right. For the inspector controls, I'm just gonna paste, like this has the group settings. I'm just gonna paste in the code, and I'm gonna go over it because I can't be asked to type everything. Let me quickly see. Okay, So the first thing we need is a panel body, which is just a settings panel with the title. Then we have a label. The label is the label which will be shown here. So this is sample page. If we add another one, the label will be like cool page or a lion page or whatever. Then we need a combo box, and the combo box is just the menu selection box. And what a combo box does is it's like a select control, but it also has a search functionality. So you can type into it to find what you need like this. So, and in here we put our menu options. That's this array we have console.log here, and when we change that, we change the menu slug to the value. This is so that we know which block we have to print. In the help we are using the create interpolate element, which is just going to interpolate this interpolate, I don't know how to pronounce it, this a tag with this href values, etc. Then we'll need another panel body, which is the layout settings, and first we need a haystack for the justification. That's what I showed you, left, right, middle. And we also need something about the width, so boxed, full width, or the height. If we save that, and if I haven't made any mistakes, we should be able to, okay, layout is not defined. Let's quickly see why layout is not defined. That's because I haven't defined it yet. No shit, Sherlock. So const layout is, I'm just gonna get it like this. So what this is going to do, it's going to use select from the editor, get all the editor settings from the experimental, and get the layout settings for that block, which is just going to retrieve them from the database. All right, like this. And we have our mega menu block. We'll do full page. It's not rendering right now because we don't have a render yet, but in here we have our combo box, and this is the create interpolate event. So we have the string, and this is interpolated to the interpolated. I'm butchering that word so hard, to the mega menu patterns library. And then in here we have our layout settings, which we created, justification and width. Now we have to create our div, which is going to render the block in the Edit.js. I'm also just going to paste this from the dumbed down plugin I created from. So we put in the block props, which has the class which we created previously. This will also have a CSS class. I'm just going to paste CSS in later. The identifier is label, another CSS. This will be the label. So the label will be printed in rich text, so we can edit it on the spot. We have some formats which we allowed, and then we have a little SVG arrow, which indicates that it's a mega menu. Now, normally when I save this and I refresh, maybe I need to save this too, and I refresh, we should see our cool page over here, and this is the rich text. So cool, and this you can see it changed over here on the right, and we add mega menu template like this. Awesome. First I want to do some housekeeping. We have some CSS files. I'm just gonna paste these in. So editor.css, scss, style.scss, and I still have to create the view.scss. This is the one we've added over here, view style, so view.scss, and I'm just gonna paste that in. I will put this code on Github, and you will be able to get the CSS yourself, or get it from the Github repo from Nick, the original creator. Also in our index file we have to do some scaffolding, so I'm gonna remove some of the comments. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So first of all, we also need to add import view.scss, and then we'll get the metadata, but also we need a mega menu icon. This is an icon we construct ourselves, and we need to add it. So icon will be mega menu icon like this, and this will be our index file. Nice. All right, there's two big things left for our plugin to work. We need to fix our render.php for the server-side rendering, and we need to fix our View.js for the front-end rendering. And here is where we are going to use the Interactivity API. Okay, so first let's start with render. I'm gonna remove the boilerplate code, and I'm just gonna add some things here. All right, so the first thing we'll need some things from our attributes. So we're gonna get the label, we're gonna get the menu slug, we're gonna get the justify menu value and the menu width from the attributes we have defined. We'll also need some menu classes. This is again classes which help with rendering the mega menu a bit nice. We'll get the wrapper attributes in a variable, and we'll need some icon SVGs like this. All right, and then we'll need to get everything up and running. So what Nick has done, he has created a list item, and in here he'll print the wrapper attributes, and then we'll start. So the first thing we do is we need to make this element interactive, and we'll do that by using data wp interactive, and now we have to provide a namespace. The namespace is the thing you've divided, you have put over here in block.json. So for me it's create block mega menu block. So I have to make sure I do open brackets, close brackets, it's an object, namespace, and then we'll do. The thing I hate about the syntax right now is there's no IDE helpers here. So this is just interpolated as a string. I think I said that word correct now. But I would like somehow they change this so we can use it as, yeah, where it could be indented, where it could be read by an IDE, so we have checking and etc. And right now it's just a string. And if you make a mistake, it's hard to see because it's not doing any error checking. Now we'll also define a context, so context, and the context is state. So our element has state, and this is where it's like React or Vue or Angular, and this is what I like about it. And I was missing this, and this is what makes the interactivity API so nice, is that we can have state, and we can have state in our render.php, and then in our View.js we can read that state, update that state, do things. The next tick is handled automatically. We don't have to do a wait for next tick, etc., which is pretty nice. Again, in the context, we'll create a menu, open it by, and we'll do an empty object. And I'm gonna make so much typos over here, not normal, is I think. So colon, and then we'll have some actions. I'm just gonna paste them here. So we'll have data on key down. We will call actions handle menu key down. Actions will define in View.js, and we'll have a watch. So we can instantiate the watcher, and this is just gonna initiate the menu. All right, so that's the boilerplate for making our element interactive. But be sure to have the namespace correct. I think you can leave namespace out and do it just like this, but for shits and giggles I do it like this. All right, then we have some other code to write. I'm gonna paste that in. I'm gonna go over it. All right, so the first thing is we have a button. When we click that, the mega menu will open, and we will bind WP bind area expanded is state menu is open. So this will be true or false, and based on that true or false, our CSS will somewhere in here in our styles, I think here, when area expanded is true, we will show the mega menu container. So area expanded goes false. This is not visible. It goes true. This is visible, and this is the trigger for the visibility. This might seem all a bit alien right now, but once we start writing the View.js file, it will all make sense. So in here we will echo our block template part, which we will get from the menu slug, prints a block template part, and we have a close button, of course. Let's go to the last part of our little script. I'm gonna remove the boilerplate here, and we'll need another thing from the Interactivity API get element, also from our store. The store create block has to be the same as here, same name as here. So I have to copy this and put that here like this, otherwise this block will not be linked to this view. And I'm also going to destructure some things out of this, so I'm going to destructure the state out of it and the actions so we can use them. This, all right, nice. Let's first create a state. So the state, we have two things. We have get is menu open, and this will return object values state menu open by filter boolean if the length is bigger than 0. I will explain what this does in an instant, and then I'm gonna add one more state, which is the menu open by, but I made a boo-boo. Yeah, object values filter boolean length. Where's my mistake? What does it say? You expect length. Length is also wrong, but object values filter boolean length. I'm forgetting a bracket somewhere, but I don't see it. Okay, seems I can't use a semicolon in a return when I'm using parentheses, which is logical, but I didn't see it. So now we have our state, but we still need our actions to open, close, and do our menu. I'm just gonna paste those in one by one, and we'll talk about them. So the first we're gonna do the actions. All right, so we have a toggle menu on click. This has to be actions, otherwise we can't use them here. So toggle menu on click. It's in here, you see, when the button is called, data WP on click, actions.toggle menu on click. That's this one. So actions toggle menu on click. What this is going to do is it's going to store a context, it's going to store a reference to that element, and it's going to put the state. So if it's either click or focus, this will close the menu. We will have menu key down, and we will have open menu. So what is this? It's putting menu opened on, either click or focus, in the menu opened by. Same with this, it's going to remove it, and this get this menu open is always running in the backend. It's always refreshing. I'm going to console open block, refreshing. And once one of the values filters to true and the length is bigger than 0, the menu is open. So if either get menu opened by is actions or click, is click or focus, it's going to be opened. Oh, I think I have to do that in the front end. One moment. So you see refreshing. Every time I click refreshing, it's already opening. Cannot read properly. initMenus is not being much. So everything, always this is created, and let's see what this does. Filter boolean. So objective values filter boolean. This will because it's open. False, true, false, true, false. So this is a watcher that's always running and will open or close our menu by, if we see over here, data WP area expanded is state is menu open. So if this is true, this state, then with this CSS, the menu will be visible. I will show you. It's a bit hard because when I click, so here you can see that the opacity, overflow, and visibility is visible because area expanded is true. If we click, let's see here, so we have our block, and we see somewhere here area expanded on the button is false, so it's closed. Open, true, false, true, and this is triggering the menu. Nice. Okay, so we need one more thing, and that is our callback. If you remember correctly, we have created a data watch callback initMenu. So underneath our actions, we'll create the callbacks, and this is initMenu, and this will just set the state is menu opened to the reference. Let's refresh, no more errors, and that's it. This is a menu, close, like this. It's pretty neat, isn't it? And what the Interactivity API does for us is it makes the boilerplate so much easier, because we can just link our render to our view and do interchangeable things, change state, whatever, etc. Where this used to be a lot harder before, so I think it's pretty nice. You can do all sorts of things. The demo from the WordPress team is also nice with the movies overview, with the hearts to like the movie, etc. One thing I noticed that is lacking is at the moment there's no way to store this in the database, this state. For example, if you would say, once the user has clicked this, I would like to store this in the database. So if you refresh to another page, the menu is automatically opened. I don't think that's possible at the moment. You could store it in the local storage or in the session storage for the user, but there's no way to persist it in the database. But I think I saw a video where one of the core developers was talking about adding that, or at least trying to generate an API for it. You could write your own implementation, but... So, okay, yeah, that's it. If you like the video, feel free to like or subscribe. This helps me with what I do, and I try to talk about interesting topics, so I hope to learn something today. Bye.